Hello survivors, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a video today about how to calm yourself down when you're in an elevated state or in a reactionary state or having obsessive thoughts. If thoughts about the narcissist are intruding and disturbing your peace, this video is going to be about how to maintain that, how to regain it, and some techniques to just sort of come back to yourself, come back to center, feeling sane, feeling calm, quiet, just calming, how to calm yourself down. Here's a few techniques. And I'm going to talk about 4 of them. There's 2 extras that I'll talk about, but the main 4 are repetitive motion. Believe it or not, that is one of the main things that can calm you down, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Another thing is being aware of your breath. That should actually be number 1. Becoming aware of your breath and attending to it. Number 3 is meditation. You can do that in conjunction with being aware of your breath. I'll talk a little bit about that. And then number 4 is journaling. So number 1, this has been fairly interesting, and this is the basis of EMDR, which has to do with eye movement or even just movement that gets your left and right brain kind of in sync. But this really helped me when I was having repetitive, oddly enough, right? Repetitive and obsessive and intrusive thoughts about someone. Really, I'll just say obsessive would probably be the best way to describe it. And so for me, my way out of it was swimming and just doing repetitive motion, just going through the water and the strokes, and it sort of forced me to focus on my breath also. But the repetitive motion of swimming, for some people it's running, for some people even just walking or working on something. I've heard other people say that shooting pool helps them just to clear their mind. Anything that has repetitive movement to it, because there's something soothing, and I don't know all the science behind this. I'll see if I can find some articles that talk about it. But there's something soothing about, if you think about like a metronome or even like a baby's lullaby carriage. I personally think that it shows up with people who have anxiety disorders, who like rock back and forth, self-soothing. I'm not sure how much of that, again, is supported by science, but I do know that for me, repetitive movement, walking, swimming, anything that had to do with repeating movements really helped me just get my mind off of whatever I was thinking about, whatever I was obsessing about, whatever was sort of taking hold of my mind and causing me to feel anxious. So that's number 1. Number 2 is being aware of your breath. If you can, you'll notice that when you're in a heightened state or panicked or nervous or reactive or whatever's causing you to be anxious, your breath will usually be shallow and fast. And you may notice also that that's accompanied by your heart racing. So the heart and the lungs, as we know, kind of work together. So if you can work on slowing down first of all, just being aware of it, just tuning into your body and your breath. If you can become aware of that, you can actually start to draw in a deeper breath and breathe out a longer breath. And then draw in and draw out. Instead of shallow breaths, take deep breaths. That's going to help calm you down. And then also, if you can draw in a breath, sustain it for a bit, let it out slowly, and then sustain that moment for a bit, so that it becomes this 4-part cycle of breathing in, holding that breath, breathing out, and letting some time pass before you take your next breath. That's going to help you. That's another calming technique. And, maybe I should state the obvious, which is sort of like a preamble to like all 4 of those, is like get yourself out of any situation that causes you to feel stress or panic. If you're in an argument, step away. Go take care of yourself. Just tell the person you need to take a break. Or that you need to go compose yourself or whatever. I guess before you use any of these techniques, the number one thing is to get yourself out of whatever is causing that heightened state of panic, tension, reactivity, anxiety. So we've talked about the breath, we've talked about repetitive movement, and then meditation is another good technique. So getting somewhere that's quiet, even if you're in a panicked, anxious state, just getting somewhere, being quiet, and trying to not force the mind to think any particular thing or not think any particular thing. Just observe the mind. Think of it as, you can do this with your eyes open, softly focused on something, or you can do it with your eyes closed, and think of your thoughts as clouds passing by, and even your emotions. If things come up for you that you're reacting to, like if you get a thought or memory of, say, someone abusing you or something that they did that really aggravates you, see if you can just think of it as clouds rolling by, just observing, not judging it, not feeding it, not reacting to it, not doing anything, just observing it, just viewing it as you would the sky, allowing it to come in and allowing it to go out. That's going to be helpful too. Now you can do meditation with the breath as well. So you can be observing your thoughts rolling by as well as observing your breath going in and going out. Those two things can be really helpful. And if you can just do that for like 5 or 10 minutes a day, that can get you to a place where you're feeling a little bit more solid, a little bit more grounded, a little bit more centered in yourself. Because when you focus on your breath or you meditate, it naturally brings you back to yourself, because your focus is just on what's going on right in the present moment. And all the better if you can do it somewhere in nature or near a tree. There's no coincidence that, they say the Buddha found enlightenment under a tree. Trees are very grounding energy. And so if you can do it near a tree or focusing on the image of a tree while you do it, it's gonna settle you down. It's gonna bring you back down to earth instead of like panicky, out of body, reactive. If you think of like fire and how sparks go up, that's what you're trying to sort of calm down and just get to calm base level, because that's where you can make better decisions from. You're not making decisions out of anger. You're not making decisions out of fear. You're not making decisions out of panic. You're not making decisions out of any reactive state. You're making them out of calmness, being centered in yourself, being with yourself, and making it from, you can make better decisions when you're operating from a state of neutrality. And then the last technique is journaling. Sometimes when we have pent up feelings and emotions that are coming up for us, or that, we're having a hard time expressing them to someone else, writing them down really helps us get them out and say, when this person did this, it made me feel like this, or I was feeling this way and this is why. And just, it's almost like having the paper as a witness to what you're feeling, getting all that, whatever's going on inside you, getting it out. It's really amazing how easily that can work. And it kind of provides an outlet for all those things that you're feeling, instead of continuing to like tamper things down, or like, when you put pressure on something, it turns into a pressure cooker with a lid on it. It's going to explode out at some point. If you are able to like let the steam off, which journaling helps you do, and it also helps you identify things like in a concrete kind of way, that's also very helpful. So those are 4 techniques that can help you calm yourself down, get back to yourself. Repetitive movement, focusing on your breath, meditation, and journaling. Now there's 2 other little side notes I'll add that have helped me and that might help you as well, and that is the scent of lavender it's been shown to have a calming effect. So if you can either burn a lavender candle or get some lavender oil, maybe put it on your temples or on your chest, maybe on your wrists, and like when you're feeling stressed or anxious, just just smell that scent. That has a naturally calming effect. Or, you know, taking a bath with some of that oil, whatever form. That's another little footnote. And then for me personally, I'm an animal lover, so spending time with animals who they don't judge, they don't react, they're just very open. So being with an animal can sometimes help calm you down too. I don't know if there's studies. I seem to think that there was something about, you know, lowering blood pressure or being around an animal, or I know that the animals are used to do, you know, go to elderly homes and help comfort them. So I'm not sure what the studies are, but I know those two extra things are sort of like my own personal experience that I think is helpful as well.
So that's my video on how to calm yourself down.
See if I can find some source articles that help support or give more information about some of the things I've talked about. But if you can find any of those ways to do that, do repetitive motion, even if it's going out and taking a walk, clearing your head, breathing fresh air, focusing on your breath while you do that, you know, whether your heart's beating and you're taking shallow, short breaths, or even if you're having an argument with someone, becoming aware of that and like addressing it. And it's also another like example of how you can be in control of yourself and not reactive to someone else. Meditation, that's going to help 5 to 10 minutes a day to start. And then journaling, just getting your feelings out on paper, can really help you. So hope one of those or more help if you're in a place where you want to calm yourself down, come back to your center, feel like you are feel a self-sovereignty. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. As always, stay safe, stay sane, and stay healthy. Thanks for watching.